We're going to move on with a check on some of the top headlines from the international press with Flo. Hi there, Flo. We're not going to talk about irritating videos. We are going to talk, however, about something that might be irritating Donald Trump. It's a story that he's slammed as fake news, but that's not stopping the press around the world, including us, from talking about it.
That's right. CNN got this scoop. Let's take a look at their article. This is a report signed by several journalists, including Carl Bernstein. This might be a familiar name. Carl Bernstein was the legendary, one of the legendary Watergate reporters. So you can see he's put his name to this story. The wording of this article is very interesting, though. They're very factual about these classified documents that were presented last week to President-elect Trump and President Obama. Now, these documents include allegations that Russian operatives claim to have compromising personal and financial information about Mr. Trump. So that's about the gist of what you'll get in CNN's article. Similar details in the New York Times. They talk about compromising and salacious personal information. And the New York Times, you can see even in their title, is quick to mention that this material is unsubstantiated and it has not been able to confirm these claims.
Indeed, and we know that in this era of fake news, there are a lot of stories that are invented all the time by various people, outlets. Some media, though, have gone so far as to publish pages from this rather explosive dossier.
That's right. BuzzFeed was one of these media that has published some highlighted pages. That's what's interesting about this memo. Must be noted, they got into a lot of hot water. Now, I won't go into the sordid details of what's on these pages, but just know that they're now being called the Golden Shower Blackmail Memos. So that might give you a little hint as to what's inside them. Now, BuzzFeed did say that these allegations are unverified and actually the report contains some errors. But they said it's important to publish them so that Americans can make up their own minds. And that's really the debate today. A lot of media are saying that's exactly why they shouldn't publish these memos.
It's quite the debate, isn't it? Team Trump, though, has rejected this report outright.
That's right. You mentioned the fake news tweet by Donald Trump. Well, we can take a look at that tweet. You know, he's calling it a political witch hunt. Now, his advisors are actually pointing to specific details from this report that they say don't stand up. For instance, the report describes meetings between Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, and Kremlin officials in Prague. You can see this tweet by Michael Cohen with a picture of his passport saying he's never been to Prague in his entire life.
OK, let's move on to another story, because I think that one's going to work itself out all on its own. Switzerland has won a case at the European Court of Human Rights. We mentioned this in our main news bulletin, which obliges Muslim parents to send their children to public school mixed gender swimming lessons.
It's a very interesting ruling. You can get a lot of attention, well, it's getting a lot of attention around the world. I pulled out a factual article. If you want more details, this is from Atlantico, pointing out that the European Court of Human Rights rejected a case filed by two parents in the city of Basel. They wanted their daughters exempted from mixed classes on religious grounds. Now, what the ruling says is that the children's full education and successful social integration, according to local customs, prevails over the parents' wishes. So if you want more details, check out Atlantico there.
It is quite a landmark ruling, isn't it? What kind of reactions are we getting from Switzerland?
Well, let's take a look at 24 Hours. That's a daily in Switzerland that is reporting that this ruling is being applauded in Switzerland, including by Muslims. In fact, it quotes one Muslim association that says it's important for all our children to follow the same school program and learn to swim. Now, Le Temps, which is another Swiss paper, if we take a look at their editorial today, they really applaud this decision as well, saying that the integration of all children, regardless of their origin or religion, is a cardinal value, as is gender equality. Now, what's interesting is this editorial is happy that this ruling is coming from outside of Switzerland, and it hopes that it will be appeasing.
All right, so we can move on to Morocco with a slightly related story. Papers there focusing on a reported Burqa ban that's caused quite a scandal.
That's right. You can read all the details in Courrier International. So a letter was sent out on Monday giving businesses 48 hours to get rid of their stock. 360 Degrees, another, this is a Moroccan paper, talks about the war on the burqa. Now, there was no official announcement from the government. That's what's interesting about this story. But a high-ranking Interior Ministry official confirmed the ban to this website, essentially claiming that it was for security reasons. Now, you can get mixed reactions to the story in Morocco, and His Press covers these mixed reactions. Critics are outraged, saying that it's unconstitutional. You can get all those details in this article. Defenders, however, say it's not a violation of individual rights, but necessary for security concerns.
Interesting indeed. Well, let's just finish off by going right back to where we started, the United States, and some reaction to President Obama's speech in Chicago, but not actually about him or what he was saying, about one person who was not there.
That's right. Why wasn't Sasha Obama at her father's farewell address? Her presence was missed. You can read more about it in Romper here. It's a women's website. And now the internet really took notice of her absence and came up with some pretty interesting theories as to why she wasn't there. I pulled out one tweet saying that she must have been at one hell of a sleepover party to be missing her father's farewell address. According to our correspondent, Philip Crowther, the White House says it's because she has an exam today. So best of luck to her on her exam.
There we
I'm
go.
sure she can watch highlights on YouTube anyway. So
On France 24.
Or France 24, of course.
Thanks very much. Flo Villamino there, looking through the international press for us.